Hey everybody, coming at you from out in the wilderness. Now, I'm a member of several different forums online other than just being on YouTube. Now, there was a certain discussion that we will talk about here in a little while, but basically this video covers that, and what it's going to be is I'm going to show you how to set up a campsite. Now, this is going to be this is my opinion, my version of how to go in. Now, I'm going to make a bunch of noise, okay? I'm going to make a bunch of noise, but you need to go in as quietly as possible and set up as quietly as possible. But, you know, that's not realistic because I'm making a video. But anyway, I'm going to show you how to set up a campsite, how I think it should be set up for either viewing wildlife, filming wildlife, or maybe even the dreaded B word, filming Bigfoot or viewing Bigfoot. So whether you believe Bigfoot or not, whether you're interested in wildlife, maybe you'll get a few tips out of this, because I'm just going to go into a few details that I think people need to see. But basically, I have a method for this. It's my own opinion on how I would do it, but they were discussing it online about why people haven't got any good footage. Well, my own personal opinion is I would love to believe that Bigfoot exists. All right, I would love it. But as time goes on, I become less of a believer because there's just too many drones and trail cameras. And, you know, they tend to think that Bigfoot, you know, you're in his living room. So if you're going to set up trail cameras, he's going to know something unnatural is going to be there. So I don't know. But anyway, same thing with wildlife. Like if you want to photograph bears and stuff, or, you know, foxes or bobcats or whatever. Or maybe if you just want to enjoy nature. But anyway, enough chit chat. We got to get on with this video. I probably already lost half of my viewers. So let's find a place to get set up. All right, this looks like a good spot. Now, the first thing that you want to do is set up your base camp. Okay, now that's where you're going to work from. All right, and I'm going to draw out a little sketch of my idea of how you should go about going into your viewing area. But you got to have a base camp. All right, the base camp's not going to be where you're going to be doing your filming and viewing from. But of course, you know, you never know. You could run into, you know, Bigfoot, Dog Man, or Bozo the Clown. So. But you have your backpack with all the stuff you need, and inside it I have what I call an expedition bag, and I'll explain more about that. But the first thing we got to do is set up our base camp. All right, now this will be the part that I feel like no matter who you are, you're going to wind up benefiting from this, the setting up of base camp. All right, so first thing we got to do is we got a tent. This is, I got it strapped to the bottom of my pack. This is a Bass Pro Shops Eclipse. Now, the idea behind a base camp is you're going to leave it for a while. So, I have expensive tents, but I'm not going to leave behind an expensive tent. And that's where you got to find a good, cheap tent. Not just a cheap tent, but a good, cheap tent. So, and in here, your gear needs to be good, especially for fall or winter. Let's see. We'll talk about this in a minute. Okay, so we have, we'll talk about this in a minute. That's going to be your pillow because it's got sleep clothes inside it. And then we're going to have a quilt and a Climate Static V insulated sleep pad. This is called a Queezer mummy bag. More on that. And let's see, this is going to be, this has nothing to do with normal camping, so we're going to go over that in a minute. And what's left? Okay, and this right here, this is a good trick that we're going to go over. And I think the rest of this is the expedition bag and the other stuff. All right, so if you look at this right here, this is all you need to be comfortable. That is all you need to be comfortable, whether it's fall or winter. This will cover the cooler fall, winter, rain, snow, doesn't matter. This is it. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start setting up this tent right here. All right, I've cleared out the area, got rid of all the sticks and branches and pine cones. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to lay down my reflective pad. Now, most people, when they set up a tent, they use a footprint, all right? For me, what I've discovered is in the winter, even if you have, unless you're using a cot, you know, most normal people will use like an insulated pad. Well, if the ground tries to suck any of your body heat out, if you've got a reflective pad underneath, then maybe it'll stop it. If any of the heat from your body gets through your insulated pad, it'll reflect back. And this protects the bottom of your tent. These things are cheap. They sell them as this is an Arcturus. Arcturus are bad about ripping. The other one called the all-weather grabber blanket, they're a little bit tougher, even though this is thicker, but it is a reflective pad. Now the beauty of this thing is the fact that it's a 5x7 reflective blanket, which is great because you can set it up ahead of time and you already know that your 5x7 tent will fit on it. Alright. Now I don't know if they make this or not anymore. I have no idea. But this is a great tent for the price. We got poles and stakes with it. It's got a rain fly. So once I got it set up in the spot where I want it to be, I'm going to slide the poles through and we're going to extend the poles up and then we'll put the rain fly. You got the poles laying on the ground right there. What you want to do now is you want to clip them into these little grommets at each end. And you try to get as much even sticking out of the middle as possible. You're going to kind of pick up on it. Be careful. Don't do no real jerky type action. Especially if the poles are real cold. There you go. Now, those are a lot like a fishing rod. You don't want to bend out in the middle. You want to bend out on the very end. And so now you just take these clips and you just kind of clip them on. Like that. Try to even it all up. Now another cool thing about this is once you've got the tent made, you can just kind of lift it up, move it around on the pad. Right there. See, now I am directly on top of that pad. Another reason that I really like this tent is because of the fly. This thing, instead of having to be staked down, it's got webbing sewed to it with Fastex buckles that you just clip on. There's a little sleeve on the front of the rain fly It's got a place for a little pole that gives you like a little roof. Once you got the rain fly on, now all you got to do, see it's got a little sock under here with this. You just push it out and there's some grommets. You put it in that grommet and then you'll very gently, like I say, see how I'm grabbing it from the end? Don't grab up here. You want as much flexibility as you can, and you just want to push it out just like that. And see, now I got a nice overhang here. So now we're just going to throw everything inside the tent. Let's unzip this bottom here so that you can see what I'm doing. Now it's got, here it is. Let me move this over. It's got a place where you can open up this door. See these little things here? You can unzip this door. I'm just going to open this up for now. And what you do is you roll up the door. And there's a loop back here. And see that right there? You just slide that through. And that right there will hold the door open for you. Just like that. All right, so let's set up the inside of this place. Take my boots off, set them right there. And at night, see, this is supposed to be a 2-man tent, which is great because it's got room for my other gear. All right, Climate Static V. This is supposed to be a self-inflating mat. Now, if you're going to use an air mattress in the winter, it better be insulated. Because a regular one will fill up with air and that air will get cold and you will freeze. Now this thing just happens to be the length of this. Now a lot of people, this is supposed to be self-inflating, I believe. And a lot of people complain and they're like, oh, you don't want to breathe inside it. You'll get the moisture from your breath will create mold. Well, it ain't like you're going to store water or drink water inside, so I just blow it up. Static Climate V Recon, ready to go. I got that at the back of the tent right there. Now this is a Queezer. This is a no-name off-brand feather down mummy bag. Now this thing came, it's a large, it's got let's see, it's 1.36 pounds. It's good for down to, I think, 37 Fahrenheit. But the thing is it's not a real thick bag. Now, a big, thick down bag will cost you a lot of money. And because of the amount of down, it will be good for wintertime. But my philosophy is I might could use this in spring. I might could use this thing in spring or fall or winter because it's a little bit smaller. But for winter, what I can do now is use a feather down quilt that I can lay over top of me to make it even, you know, even if it gets really, really cold, in other words. All right, so you lay this down. You cover it over. That way, if you want to, you can just throw it off of you at night, or it can be on you. Now, the other important thing for those of you, you take all of your little bags and stuff and just kind of throw them in a corner. For those of you that aren't experienced in camping, take your daily clothes off. Get rid of them. Take them off, okay? This, dry. This, dry. Everything's dry, including the clothes that you're going to be wearing at night. So what you do is come up with some kind of a soft bag like this. And what you do is this is where you put your night clothes in there. Fresh socks, okay? Fresh pair of pants. And a fresh shirt, dry. You do not wear these during the day. The only time you wear this stuff is when you're sleeping. You take your day clothes and stuff them in here. What is that? Oh yeah, and a hat, because I'm wearing this hat. This will be a dry hat too, in case my head gets cold. And then you put your day clothes in here, and then you've got a pillow. All right, so that's the lowdown of that. All right, now for the outside, I'm going to show you something else about it. All right, so we got the tent set up. Now, this will be part of your expedition tripod. I'll explain more of that later when we go out into the field. And then it helps to have a stool. And then inside here is just a separate backpack. Honestly, that is your in the field expedition pack. So we're going to stick this in the corner. Got everything we need. Stool, stick it in the corner. Tripod, stick it in the corner. And then your backpack, you're going to put it over in this other corner with all of your little bags from your tarp and your tent, canteen. It's all tangled up. All right, put the canteen right over here by my head. Now, like I said, this is not normal camping. This can be normal camping, okay? But no deodorant, okay? No deodorant, no soap, no campfire, no coffee. No coffee, you heard me. No smells, no deodorant, no soap, no coffee, no cooking food, no campfire, no fire, period. Period. No machetes, no axes, no chopping wood, no making noise. Now, I'm making noise because I'm making a video. But think of this as a diet, that this entire trip, your food is going to be like a bunch of different, like Chex Mix bars and breakfast bars and granola bars, and just carry a whole bag of them. And then down at the bottom, you'll have a water filter because you'll have to replenish your canteen. Now, I've got some paracord. You can hang that from a tree because this is a waterproof pouch. It's got a zipper, so what you want to do is hang it upside down up in a tree. But anyway, there's the food. And then in here, in this bag, this has more to do with the stealth aspect. Well, you got to have a first aid kit. All right, so put a first aid kit right up there by your head. And then you're going to have toilet paper and a shovel. Now, during the winter, a lot of people, for a cat hole, when they have to go and relieve themselves, they bring a plastic shovel. Now, in the winter, the ground may be kind of solid, so you want a good stainless steel folding shovel. Dig a little hole, do your business, wipe, bury it all. Don't wipe the leaves. Wiping with leaves is very bad. Wiping with leaves is kind of like putting money on Mississippi State football. Oh, I didn't say that. Look. And then you need a knife for just in case. A knife and a saw for just in case. Because we're going to be playing with camo out in the field, and you may want to cut some branches and put a camo barrier around it. But there's also a knife and a saw in the expedition bag. But I just happened to bring that. Now, what this is camo, all right? Because you want to camo up your shelter when you leave at night. And I'm going to show you that. And what this is, believe it or not, I'd been talking about how you got to have some sort of a red looking color, something to match the winter time. And a bed sheet from Walmart is as close as it gets. Believe it or not. But the thing is, it doesn't matter if it's a bed sheet because your tent is waterproof. And whatever you throw over the top of it, doesn't matter if it's waterproof or not. It's just kind of make things blend in. So what you do is, I got 2 of those bed sheets, and I think inside this one, and then of course you got an extra pack for carrying whatever. Look at this. I got an extra pack with some little clips for clipping it on. Now normally you would want to put these in a bag, not a bottle, because you're trying to fool nature. You don't want to, like I said, everything you do quietly. So we're going to put this over this and try to hide this tent. Okay, now this is all the first day of the expedition. Oh, I got to draw something else out too to show you. All right, you see the tent? Sticks out like a sore thumb. So we're going to take care of that. Now, I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time for, making you look for the tent, but I'm just going to do this one scene where we're going to walk towards it. Now, I'm coming forward about every 10 feet. I don't know if you can see this on camera or not, but the basic idea is every little bit helps. You can also cover it in leaves, even though you're using the camo. And all this excessive noise of me walking around is not a good thing either. I'm pretty sure you can see it from there. I can't tell from this little viewfinder. But basically the idea is try to camo up your tent. Say just a bed sheet. And I don't know why, but no camo matches the color perfectly. If it did, that would be wonderful. But see, I got leaves thrown down there and leaves on top. You could always add extras. I'm gonna make a little drawing about what I was talking about here. Let's say, for example, okay, day one, you're gonna hike in as far as you can possibly hike to set up base camp, okay? Now, this will be your home for 1, 2, 3, 4 days, however long the job that has taken over your life allows you vacation. So let's say, for example, depending on the days you have, you could scout the first day, second day, go a different direction, whatever. But my idea is, okay, you drive up and there's the parking lot, okay, and you park your car. You hike in as far as you can, 1, 2, 3, maybe, if you can, 5 miles. All right, this will be base camp. All right, base camp is where you're going to hang out. All right, the first day. Now, let's say, for example, in this area, there's bears here, bobcats here, cryptid, dogman, Bigfoot. So let's say this area north of me, people have heard a lot of howls, but they've never seen Bigfoot, but there's howls. So on day one, I'll hike north with my expedition bag, come back, spend the night at base camp. Day two, go east. And then day 3, go west. All right, and just check these things out. And try to get there as quietly as possible. All right. So that's my game plan on how to do this. Park, base camp, go with an expedition bag, different directions every day. All right, so now as far as sleeping, it's like I said, where did my thing go? I had a hat a minute ago. All right, you remember, you change your clothes to your dry clothes, and you put your stuff inside your this pack here. So let's scoot this over, and that right there will be my pillow. Now I put it inside the mummy pouch. Some people will put it under it, but it tends to slip off because of all this ripstop nylon, and that's why I carry the hat. Also, that way I can take the hat on and off if I want to. So I'm in the mummy bag, and I'm zipping it up. All right, I'm gonna zip it up as far as I can. Now, if I want to, I can lay here with my arm out, or I can put my arm in, and I can reach down and fully zip this up. Or I can reach down, and I can pull this blanket out. Like I said, everything's slippery and slick, but I can pull that up and now I have 2 layers on me. Isn't that cool? So you'll sleep the first night. All right, on day 2, you want to have a little snack. Some water to get you going. Now, your expedition pack is ready to go. So what you want to do now, let's see. it's gonna get cold with you just sitting out there doing nothing. So you want to bring a jacket. So what I would do, you're gonna have that as a backpack, and you don't want to wear it in because you're gonna be hiking and sweating. So take a tripod, lay the tripod in the jacket, take your stool, lay your stool in the jacket. All right, take the hood, fold the hood over, and then just kind of roll the jacket up like that. All right, take a couple of bungees, bungee it, bungee this, let's see, like that. All right. And then bungee it together. Now I should have brought another one, that way it'd be long, I could carry it over my shoulder, but I'll just carry it by hand like that. It's not that big of a deal. But like I say, if you wear it in, you're gonna sweat like a pig. Now let me show you something else that's pretty cool. You got to get good and hydrated, because even in the winter you can be dehydrated. Oh, wait a minute, one thing I forgot. I gotta show you. On these bags, on a sleeping bag, you want one that doesn't have cloth right by the zipper. You want one that's got like something real thick and substantial so the zipper doesn't get caught in it. And that worked great. All right, now, where's that at? Okay, these neck gaiters, you can get them almost anywhere. They're very, very cheap. Now, I'm gonna show you something. When you're hiking in, I have an insulated hat, which I was wearing, which is great for like setting up camp and just kind of hanging around camp. But when you're hiking, you may wind up sweating. So I'm going to show you something. These gaiters, these things like this, it's like a tube of material. Okay, they're great because you can take them and you can have one here, or you can pull one up under your neck. Not only does it camouflage you, but it'll also keep your neck warm. Now, this is a trick that I'm going to show you, which is great. Like I said, if we're not wearing a insulated toboggan so your hat will sweat, head, yeah. What you're going to do is you turn this thing inside out. It's how you turn this into a very thin, lightweight hat, so you won't be sweating like a pig on your way in. All right. Go up a little bit. You take this, and you put it on your head upside down. You pull it just up to your eyes, upside down. Okay, now you take the flat, okay, and you twist it. You cross hands once, twice, okay. You've twisted it twice. It's on your head backwards, and then you're going to try to grab it, and then you're going to pull it down over. Well, I can't see very good here. Alright, how's that look? Let's see, that pulls down. And now you've got a hat. Isn't that cool? Alright, so now let's head out, and I'm going to show you on your expedition part of the thing how you set all this stuff up. Alright, so we're going to put on our expedition pack, and then I'm going to carry this thing, and we're going to go to our chosen location. So now we're in stealth mode. We got our expedition pack, we got our tripod, seat, and jacket. So what we're going to do now is we're going to try to walk as slowly and quietly and carefully to our chosen destination. It's much harder to do in the fall when the ground's covered in leaves. Now you want an area where you're going to have natural concealment. You don't really want to use camouflage if you can help it. And you want to be able to overlook an area. So look at this. Well, I see this is concealed, but it's actually too concealed. Let's keep going further and see if we can find an area where we're like at the edge of the trees. See, I think I found the perfect spot here. Because I can sit down right in here. There's a small spot. And see, you either want to be up high looking down, or you want to be able to look out across the field, or look over where it's high up. And see, all those trees are dead, so I can see perfectly right over there. So this little hole right here is where I'm going to set up because I've got cover right in front of me. See, it's nice and quiet right here. So we're going to take off our expedition pack. Now, you can either be behind natural brush, or if you wind up in the woods and you're near a tree or around some trees, what I have brought, let's see what's in here. And you may have other ideas on how to do this. I'm actually being quiet now because I'm quite a distance away from the base camp. Maybe I'll see something, I don't know. Let's see. Got a few clips in case I want to clip some camo to this. But I want to try to avoid camo. I want to use natural cover. Now there's one particular type of camo. This is my camera bag. We'll look and see what's in it. Take everything out. This is another kind of camo. This is another kind of camo. This is a small tripod if I need it, but I don't think I will. This is an inflatable. I came equipped with a stool, and this is an inflatable footrest. That way if I have to, I can blow it up and sit on it and lean against a tree. But there ain't no tree here, so I'm not going to need it. But you got to be equipped. And then I got a knife. This is a SOG revolver. That way, in case I need a knife for cutting thorns and branches out of the way, or if I need to cut some sticks to put my camo to, I've got a saw. Alright. Whether I need it or not, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Now, let's see. I see what we got in here. Alright, I got some thin gloves. These are way thinner than my insulated gloves. That way I can turn the cameras on and off. I got a little bit of water. Alright, let's lay that there. This is a head net. I'm going to show you. I've got a bunch of questions about these type of head nets because there's an elastic band inside, and I'm going to show you how that works. Alright, let's open up our jacket. Once we get to sitting, I'll put it on. Alright, we have a stool. Nothing to it. All you do is unvelcro it, pull the legs out, then you've got a place to sit. You're probably going to want to sit and stand, especially if the ground's wet. Alright, now here's our tripod. It's just a small tripod. Now let's look in this camera bag here. In this camera bag, we have a spare battery. That way you can charge one of the cameras if you want to leave it on the whole time. Have a spotting scope, and have this special made bar that holds a spotting scope and two cameras. Now these are those blogger type cameras. See, it's got a touch screen. We're going to be using two of those. It's this little bar. That goes on there. This is a small spotting scope. Now it comes with a lanyard, but all you got to do is unscrew that lanyard, that thing will screw on just like that. Alright, that's backwards. Turn around that way. Now they make bigger, more powerful spotting scopes, but I feel like that one's good for what we're going to be doing here. Alright, so that's what it looks like. I got 2 cameras set up with my spotting scope. Let's set them in place. Alright, so I got my stool set up and my spotting scope. Now I'm going to show you. Okay. Like I said, I'm putting on the thin gloves, if I even need the gloves. That way I can have the dexterity for mashing buttons and stuff. Now this thing here that people talk about, I'm trying to remember, I'm going to show you. There's an elastic band inside it, and people say that they don't know what it's for. Let's see. Look, there's an elastic band, and nobody really knows what this is for. So what you do is you turn this inside out, okay? And then you put the eye hole over your eyes, bend that wire around, okay? Now I've got it on my head, and then you just pull this over. Like this. And see, that way, my eye hole, it's got wire in it. My eye hole doesn't move around. So I've got this now. Now I could lay the camo over me, but like I said, I think I'm far enough away from everything, and I think just laying the camo all over everything is just going to get in the way of me making this video. But I've got, and this ain't really the right color. Say I could pull this out. This is some of that cheap Walmart camo. It's got kind of a gray tint to it, but they make different colors. This is too much gray. But you can throw this over you. I could actually throw it over me and the camera, and say I've still got places that I can see out of. From a distance I may blend in a little better, but for the sake of making this video, we're going to leave it off. Now it's time for a battery check. I think this other one's dead. Yeah, because I used it yesterday. See, this battery here, it's bigger than the whole camera. So you just throw it on the ground. It gets you a length of cord. Let's see. Plug it in. There we go. And see, that way that one will be charging while this one's working. I don't know if you can see inside there or not. Probably not. Let me see. I'm gonna see if you can see up on that ridge. All right, now we got to do. Now we got to do the crank test. And what that is, see, I'm concealed. I'm concealed by all this brush, but if I want to get a good picture of something, I need to be able to quickly and quietly crank this up. I think that's pretty quiet, especially when I'm seeing off in the distance. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned a few things, whether it's about camping or stealth or camo or where to hide, where to look. But I had a lot of fun filming this one. This was so cool. And like I said, this is my idea of either filming wildlife, filming Bigfoot, whatever. So I heard a lot of noise over there on that hill over there. So I really am going to just be quiet and hang out here for a while and see what I can see. It's getting a little chilly though, so I think I'm going to put my jacket on. But if I catch anything on film, I'll put it at the end. If I don't catch anything, you're just going to see me sitting here wasting time. So take it easy, enjoy life, get out and have fun. Do whatever you want to do in the wilderness, and we shall. See you in the next one.